Okay. Good evening and welcome to the July 19th Clifton Park Town Board meeting. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, Teresa, if you call the roll.
Councilwoman Flood. Here. Councilwoman Standard. Here. Councilman Morelli. Here. Councilwoman Wallowitz. Here. Supervisor Barrett.
Here. There's no minutes to consider tonight. Communications and announcements, just a few quick things. We have some renderings over here to my right on the project that was recently selected by Congressman Tonko for funding. And John is still at a meeting. He should be here in a few minutes. I wanted him to kind of go through and point out some high points of the project, but we can put that to the side for now. I do want to thank everybody that's worked hard to get the town's Learn to Swim program back up and running this year. Everything was canceled last year, unfortunately, for obvious reasons. But very pleased that starting today, the first of 2 sessions began, and over 100 kids are receiving swim lessons. So we had some last-minute instructor training the end of June, which we were able to schedule and get done. And a new Learn to Swim director as well. So program got off to a good start today, so we're very happy to see that, very gratified. There was also a big announcement not far from here, up in Malta, making national news, and that is Global Foundries. They made an announcement today with a few different elements to it. The first is that they're going to invest $1 billion in the near term to fully utilize current space that is not currently being used within the facility, in that they are looking toward doubling capacity of output of computer chips. Now there is some federal funding that they're hoping to receive. The Senate has passed the bill, and it's being taken up in the House. If that legislation does pass, I would expect that the second fab would move forward. Again, that would double capacity. Some other interesting tidbits. The United States currently manufactures 12% of the world's supply of chips. We do not, according to what was said today, we do not currently manufacture any of the leading edge chips. The demand generated by the United States is 48% of the total worldwide demand. So we're roughly half demand, but we're only manufacturing about 12%. And we're falling behind as far as the most powerful chips that are available on the market. So that is some of the reasoning behind this funding that's being considered by the federal government, and the push for the increase of manufacturing on U.S. soil. So we'll see what happens, but Senator Schumer was there today, along with Commerce Secretary Raimondo, who was the former governor of Rhode Island, and they along with the CEO Thomas Caulfield, conducted the event. So big announcement, a lot of good information. I think we've seen the effects of a lack of computer chips available for various products, and what that is doing to certain segments of our economy, particularly automobiles, being just one industry that's been heavily hit by the lack of chips. So we'll see what the future holds. It's certainly an industry, as we've all learned since Global Foundries has come to the area, that it's an industry that changes very rapidly. The technology changes, the strategies change quite rapidly. So we'll see what the future holds. But that's some of the good information that was shared today up in Malta. Now, as far as I'll just talk about this trail project real quick. This was one of 5 projects that Congressman Tonko chose for funding within his district. The member item program, I guess for lack of a better term, that was done away with years ago has returned. So all of the legislators have money that they can award for various projects. So this particular project is a 10-foot wide paved multi-use path. I can give you this narrative too. 10-foot wide paved multi-use path on the north side of 146 from Vista Drive to 146, 146A. Construct new curbing and a 5-foot sidewalk on the north side of 146 from the Ravenswood Restaurant driveway to School Drive at the Shen campus. Construct a 10-foot wide paved multi-use path on the east side of Bishop Ferry from the Key Bank driveway to Plaid Place. You know, we've had a 10-foot wide trail on the west side of Bishop Ferry for a number of years now. We also have along the Clifton Common between Bishop Ferry Road and the fields, there's a path there that goes up to Plaid Place, and then we have a crosswalk. So we do have a gap on the east side from Plaid Place to the Key Bank area. So this project would fill that gap. So that would be fantastic, because it would reduce the number of instances where people have to cross Bishop Ferry Road, which I think is good. So that would be a great gap filler within our trail network. At the intersection of Sterling Heights Drive, the west entrance, Honey Hollow Way and 146, install a high visibility crosswalk with rectangular rapid flashing beacons. For those wondering what that might be, if you drive up Bishop Ferry, when you get to the Common, it's those the signals on either side of the crosswalk. You can press the button as a pedestrian, and then the beacons flash. So placing one there at the intersection of Marlborough Drive and 146. That's 146A. Install a high visibility crosswalk with the rectangular rapid flashing beacons and signage, and install bicycle symbols on the shoulders of New York 146 at the signalized intersection of 146 and School Drive. Install pedestrian activated push button with countdown timers with 2 new high visibility crosswalks and signage. So that gives some additional detail on that project. That will be just another great addition to the town's trail network that we've grown exponentially over the last 20 years, connecting businesses to neighborhoods to other neighborhoods, connecting everybody to our park system. So this is another great advancement in the trail network. And again, if you'd like to take a look at the visuals after the meeting, please do. Anyone else have any updates at this time?
I have a quick
Yes.
announcement. I just wanted to make sure people were aware that there's the Clifton Park and Half Moon History Hunt going on right now. They've done it before, so it's back by popular demand. You take a self-guided tour of the area's historic sites and you snap a photo, and then you can redeem for a raffle entry. You can pick up your passport at the library to help guide you. It ends the end of July. It started the 1st, so you still have time. You visit 5 historic sites listed for each town, and then you can be in the raffle. There's 2 gift baskets.
And that's the courtesy of the Town of Clifton Park's Historic Preservation Commission and the library. And if you visit all 16 sites, you get a bonus entry. So that goes to the end of the month.
Very nice. Anybody done it yet? No, not yet. Anyone else? Yes, Mrs. Sandberg.
Thank you. I just wanted to announce that this Wednesday, July 21st, we kick off our Wednesday evening Children Performing Arts Series, free at the Common, starts at 7 o'clock. And this Wednesday, we're kicking it off with Seth and the Moody Neelix. Apparently they're a lot of fun and very educational for the kids. So hopefully the rain will hold off and lots of kids can enjoy Seth and the Moody Neelix. Again, that's Wednesday, 7 o'clock, and all the subsequent Wednesdays afterwards, we do have some more free performing arts, so check it out. Our brochure is available in Parks and Rec Department, correct?
And the front
And
desk.
at the front desk, very good, thank you.
And clerks.
Thank you. Just one other thing I wanted to mention is I want to thank the board for their support in recently reinstating the IT committee. We had Councilwoman Flood and I had met with various members of various departments on July 7th to talk about their technological needs in their departments to help make their jobs more efficient and so that we can serve our residents in a better fashion. One of the most pressing needs that we learned and that we have reviewed was in the planning department and with the building department, the need for some new software. The program that we're using now, Municity, is sunsetting, and we reviewed the RFP that will be released soon. But it was a very good informational meeting. We got to hear a lot from our employees about things that will help us help them serve our residents much better. So more to come from that. But thank you again to the board for reinstating that committee and giving us that opportunity to really dive into the needs that we have in our departments.
Very good, thank you. All right, anyone else? Okay, we'll get right to business. We do have several resolutions for consideration. So, Teresa, if you could read through those, please.
A resolution awarding the contract to VAD Contractors Incorporated for repairs at the Grooms Tavern. Whereas sealed bids were opened on June 7th, 2021 pursuant to General Municipal Law 103 for repair work to be done to the porch and roof of the historic Grooms Tavern. And whereas Daniel Clemens, Director of Buildings, Parks and Recreation, recommends that VAD Contractors be awarded the work for the renovation area 1, renovation area 2, and renovation area 3 per option 3B in the project manual and bid documents. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board hereby awards the bid to VAD Contractors Incorporated, 1831 83rd Street, Suite 1A, Brooklyn, New York, as low bidder, and the Buildings and Grounds Department is authorized to issue a notice of award and notice to proceed to make repairs at Grooms Tavern on Sugar Hill Road at a cost not to exceed $48,330 as described in the attached bid documents from General Fund Grooms Tavern Equipment. And be it further resolved that the comptroller is authorized to transfer $48,330 from unfunded balance to Grooms Tavern Equipment. A resolution hiring water safety instructors for the Country Knolls pool for the 2021 season, whereas the town board wishes to hire additional qualified staff members for the operations of the town's pools, and whereas Supervisor Barrett has recommended individuals listed in the attached Schedule A be hired to staff the town pools as indicated. Now therefore be it resolved that the individuals listed in the attached Schedule A be hired as seasonal staff for the town pools as noted through the end of 2021 pool season, and be it further resolved that the individuals be paid as indicated on Schedule A retroactive to July 6, 2021. A resolution authorizing the promotion of James Altenberger to the position of head lifeguard at the Country Knolls pools for the 2021 summer pool season. Whereas a vacancy for head lifeguard exists in the Country Knolls pool area this year, and whereas Director of Parks, Recreation, and Community Affairs Marla Kramer recommends the advancement of James Altenberger, a certified lifeguard, to head lifeguard. Now therefore be it resolved that James Altenberger, 16 Muirfield Lane, Clifton Park is hereby promoted to head lifeguard, step 5, $13.95 an hour, retroactive to the beginning of the 2021 summer pool season, to be paid from Longfield Lawn Park District Country Knolls Pool lifeguards. A resolution authorizing David Chalmers to serve alcoholic beverages at a gathering to be held at Collins Park on August 28, 2021. Whereas David Chalmers, 32 Par del Rio, Clifton Park is hosting a gathering on August 28, 2021 from 12 to 5 p.m. And whereas David Chalmers has requested permission to serve alcohol in the form of beer and wine at the event, now therefore be it resolved that David Chalmers is hereby authorized to serve beer and wine at a gathering at Collins Park on August 28, 2021 from 12 to 5 p.m. A resolution authorizing Randy Pullen to serve alcoholic beverages at a gathering to be held at the Collins Park on August 7, 2021. Whereas Randy Pullen, 29 Pepper Hollow Drive, Clifton Park, is hosting a gathering on August 7, 2021 from 2 to 9 p.m. And whereas Randy Pullen has requested permission to serve alcohol in the form of beer and wine at the event, now therefore be it resolved that Randy Pullen is hereby authorized to serve beer and wine at a gathering at Collins Park on August 7th, 2021 from 2 to 9 p.m. A resolution authorizing Nicole Littlejohn to serve alcoholic beverages at a gathering to be held at the Collins Park on July 31st, 2021, whereas Nicole Littlejohn, 1 Caceres Court, Clifton Park, is hosting a gathering on July 31st, 2021 from 2 to 8 p.m. And whereas Nicole Littlejohn has requested permission to serve alcohol in the form of beer and wine at the event, now therefore be it resolved that Nicole Littlejohn is hereby authorized to serve beer and wine at a gathering at Collins Park on July 31st, 2021 from 2 to 8 p.m. A resolution hiring Marley Ogle for the 2021 Tiny Hands Preschool Summer Camp Program. Whereas the town board wishes to hire a staff member for the operation of the town's preschool camp program. And whereas Myla Kramer, Director of Parks, Recreation, and Community Affairs, has recommended that Mary Ogle, 2 Dyer Drive, Clifton Park, be hired as a counselor for the Tiny Hands program. Now therefore be it resolved that Marley Ogle is hired as a counselor for the 2021 Tiny Hands Preschool Summer Camp program, effective from July 12, 2021 through the entire 2021 summer camp season, to be paid at step 1, $12.25 an hour from summer recreation counselors. A resolution authorizing the Department of Buildings and Grounds to purchase 2 small pickup trucks from Upstate Auto Sales, whereas Daniel Clemens, Director of Buildings, Parks, and Recreations, has requested authorization to purchase 2 used vehicles for use by the Buildings and Grounds Department. And whereas both pickup trucks, as described in the attached document, are available from Upstate Auto Sales, 3511 New York, Route 7, Hoosick Falls, New York, at a total cost not to exceed $18,842. Now therefore be it resolved that the Director of Buildings, Parks, and Recreation is authorized to purchase the above referenced vehicles for use by the Buildings and Grounds Department in a total amount not to exceed $18,842 from general Buildings and Grounds equipment. And be it further resolved that the comptroller is authorized to increase revenue budget sales of equipment by $13,045 and increase Buildings and Grounds equipment by $13,045 and transfer $5,797 from Buildings and Grounds general maintenance to the Buildings and Grounds equipment line. A resolution authorizing the implementation and funding in the first instance 100% of the federal aid to state Marchicelli program aid eligible costs of the transportation federal aid project and appropriating funds therefore. Whereas the Project Pedestrian Safety Action Plan, PSAP, Clifton Park Center Road and Clifton Country Road, Town of Clifton Park, Saratoga County, PIN 1760.93, the project is eligible for funding under the Title 23 U.S. Code as amended. It calls for the apportionment of the cost of such program to be borne at the ratio of 100% federal funds. And whereas the Town of Clifton Park desires to advance the project by making a commitment of 100% of the non-federal share of the cost of design and construction CI. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board hereby approves the above subject project, and it is further resolved that the town board hereby authorizes the Town of Clifton Park to pay in the first instance 100% of the federal and non-federal share of the cost of design and construction CI work for the project or portions thereof, and be it further resolved that the sum of $541,000 has been hereby previously appropriated from the capital projects PSAP, Clifton Park Central Road and Clifton Country Road traffic safety equipment appropriated pursuant to resolution number 62 of 2021 and made available to cover the cost of participation in the above phases of the project. And it is further resolved that the additional sum of $134,798 is hereby appropriated from the designated capital projects fund, Clifton Park Center and Clifton Country Road PSAP equipment, and made available to cover the cost of participation in the above phases of the project. And it is further resolved that in the event the full federal and non-federal share costs of the project exceeds the amount appropriated above, the town board shall convene as soon as possible to appropriate said excess amount immediately upon the notification by the New York State Department of Transportation thereof. And it is further resolved that the town supervisor be and is hereby authorized to execute all necessary agreements, certifications, or reimbursement requests for federal aid and or Marchicelli aid on behalf of the town with the New York State Department of Transportation in connection with the advancement or approval of the project, and providing for the administration of the project and the municipality's first instance funding of project costs and permanent funding of the local share of the federal aid, state aid eligible project costs, and all project costs within appropriations therefore that are not so eligible. And it is further resolved that a certified copy of this resolution be filed with the New York State Commissioner of Transportation by attaching it to any necessary agreement in connection with the project. And it is further resolved that this resolution shall take effect immediately. A resolution authorizing the transfer of labor to Clifton Park Senior Community Center, whereas an opening exists for a laborer in the Clifton Park Senior Community Center due to the promotion of Donovan Ryan, and whereas Keith Ulrich, a current employee of the transfer station, expressed an interest in transferring to the opening at the Senior Community Center, and whereas Supervisor Barrett has recommended that Keith Ulrich 112 Hollandale Lane, Apartment A, Clifton Park, be transferred to fill the full-time position as advertised. Now therefore be it resolved that authorization is hereby given to transfer Keith Ulrich as a laborer for the Clifton Park Senior Community Center at grade 3, step 1, $19.44 an hour, effective July 26, 2021. And be it further resolved that the comptroller is authorized to transfer $17,900 from Senior Center part-time employee to Senior Center Keith Ulrich.
Good. Thank you, Teresa. Any questions on the resolutions? Okay. Could you read the
Resolution number 170 of 2021, a resolution awarding the contract to BAD Contractors Incorporated for repairs at the Grooms Tavern.
Second.
Moved by Mrs. Flood, second by Mrs. Standard. We did get several bids on this work, and I think the pricing came in very, very well. I think about what we expected, maybe a hair less actually, which is rare nowadays. They do want to, yeah.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I was gonna
Just for everybody out there, for those who don't know, the James Grooms Tavern was built in 1825. It's at the corner of 290 Sugar Hill Road and Grooms Corners. It was acquired by the town in 1999 along with two other historical buildings, the Blacksmith Shop and the Grange. They're on the National Register of Historical Places and serves as a cultural center for Clifton Park. We've had many events and exhibits by various groups and have offered programs at the tavern over many years. It's an educational center where anyone can learn about the community we live in. The tavern preserves our town heritage and educates the public on our town history and provides space for cultural and historical programs. It's critical that we maintain and repair the structures to preserve the integrity of our history. As we've discussed in the past, this rich history is what separates us from a lot of other surrounding towns. And like Supervisor Barrett just said, we received 6 requests for proposals, and our buildings and grounds experts have chosen a New York company to repair the 3 areas that are in need: the porch roof, and the tavern roof. And I believe the repairs will take, I think, 6 to 8 weeks, Dan, I think it was. And it will not interfere with any of the activities the groups have scheduled at the tavern. So we do have lots of people from the Historical Preservation Commission and Friends of the Grooms Tavern here tonight. So thank you for coming. And Dan, do you want to say anything specific about the repairs?
Yeah, definitely. After identifying these spots, I spent a lot of time, and I think Steve Myers and Mark Kazner did a lot. Mark spent a lot of
Mark
time.
did the plans.
He drew all the
Yeah.
plans, basically acting as the engineers on this project. So Mark, a whole lot of work. Thank him a lot. He owed a lot to him. So we went through everything, and we did some digging and stuff, and did some test holes, and found out what the foundation looked like, and we figured we had a good solid foundation under the porch. So this floor is going to be redone with a composite decking, which will last a long time. It's going to look just like what was there. It's gray, solid color. A new standing seam roof on the porch to match around the back side, and some new architectural shingles on the main roof, which will also look kind of like a shake style, but they're a 40-year warranty on that too. And the bids did come in a little lower than we expected, like the supervisor said, which was outstanding. And references all checked out pretty good. Mark did a lot of calling around and research on that, and their work is pretty good reviews. So we look forward to getting after this, and won't interrupt anything. They're going to know that the place has to remain safe for the public to access, and we'll keep their work areas safe at all times. So it's going to be a pretty neat job.
Yeah, I think so. The work is definitely needed, and thinking back to 22 years ago, first viewing the inside of the tavern, this kind of work seems rather quaint compared to the work that needed to be done at that point. But it's important we stay on top of it so it doesn't revert back to a situation where you're playing catch up and structurally the building could get disrepair again. We don't want that to happen with all the effort, work, and time that's been invested over the last couple of decades. We did get a call middle to end of last week. I guess Kieran got the call from the contractor stating that he might have a shortage of supplies as he gets into the year, and that are we going forward with this? And you get those kind of calls from time to time. You're never quite sure what their situation is, but considering the shortage of supplies in many areas, it's certainly a good chance that is the case. So we certainly don't want to miss a window because supplies were lacking. Anything you want to say, Mark? Appreciate you doing the plans and kind of outlining what the project would entail.
No, not too much. I'm basically here for moral and technical support. But we did, there's one, the price was by the VAD contractors was much lower than others. So there's always that concern.
Yeah.
And we actually set up a meeting with the contractors who came out of Brooklyn. And by the way, it says Brooklyn, but the local companies that are going to be doing all the work, they work with them here locally through Latham Roofing and Siding. And so the roofing people were here, they came, people that would do the deck came, and the man that's going to handle the contract and paperwork, we met with them again, going over the numbers that they did, that they showed. And what we wanted was the guarantee that we're getting architectural shingles, 40-year shingle, that we were getting a proper composite decking, which, by the way, you're right, Trex decking has a 15-week delivery. They gave us a sample, they gave one to Dan of, there's other companies, but everyone knows Trex. It's like Kleenex, that's all there is. But there's others. And they're going to be using it, if they can get it, it's available. So they guaranteed us that. We don't know what's underneath the roof. We don't know what's underneath the deck.
Right.
Are the boards rotted, or they also guaranteed us that there'll be no extra money. If there is something that has to be replaced, they will replace it. So all of that sounded very good. We had a probably good hour, maybe hour and a half meeting with going over every little point. And then Dan made the decision on picking those guys. So it sounds like they want to go to work right away.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, seen them.
Yeah. That's all.
Very good. All right. Anything else?
I mean, I was a little concerned looking at the bid with the very low bid on the roof
That was the one.
specifically, but if you guys are comfortable and addressed it with them specifically, then, you know, if it makes sense to move forward. And I would just, you know, echo Councilwoman Flood's points. I mean, I'm completely supportive of this. I think really our historic preservation and specifically with this building and all our other buildings, really, you know, part of what separates Clifton Park from many other municipalities in the area. So appreciate the work. Mark and Dan, appreciate your work as well. Councilwoman Flood as our liaison.
Yeah, it's been a long journey to get to this point. And like I said, you know, it's important we keep up with the maintenance. So, all right, very good. Any other? Yes, Brian, did you, on behalf of the Historical Preservation Commission?
Well, actually, I'm here tonight as the treasurer of Friends of Historical Town.
Well, that too.
Very nice.
And Larry, who was Cintiq, who was our president and unable to be here tonight, he's out of town. And,
Oh,
regrets deeply that he couldn't be here. We want to offer our thank you to everybody involved, particularly Councilwoman Flood for everything she did. And I know there's a whole mess of other people this way that are also involved that wasn't quite aware of, but we're really grateful to get this done after all the years we've been working at it, and we feel a lot more comfortable letting people in and out the front door.
yeah.
At big events, we've had to have someone kind of stand near it because
Right.
it's unlocking the out.
Right.
Not quite sure what was underneath the wall. So again, thanks for everything you've done, and we truly appreciate it and look forward to your support in the future as we continue to work for the town.
Well, thank you, Brian, very much for those sentiments. Thank Larry for us, and thank everybody that's here, and all that aren't here but are involved heavily in helping the town preserve our history. So thank you.
Yeah, our town historian, John Shearer, is on vacation too, so.
All right.
He was consulted about the colors that were picked and the styles.
Yeah, John knows about this, right?
Yeah.
If he doesn't, then we'll know about it.
We sent them on vacation.
Send him out of town. You won't know anything about it. All right. Teresa?
Councilwoman Flood?
Yes.
Councilwoman Standard?
Yes.
Councilman Morelli?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wallowit?
Yes.
Supervisor Barrett?
Yes.
Resolution number 171 of 2021, a resolution hiring water safety instructors for the Country North Pool for the 2021 season.
Moved by Mr. Morelli, second by Mrs. Yeah.
It's down that way. I'll second it.
Second by Mrs. Standard. Yeah, so as I mentioned before, these are the instructors for our Learn to Swim program. And we thank them for stepping up and taking the class. The water was probably a little cold today. A lot of rainwater in the pools, which usually leads to cooler water temperatures, and hasn't been a lot of sun recently. But they braved it and got off to a good start. Any further comments? Okay, Teresa?
Councilwoman Flood?
Yes.
Councilwoman Standard?
Yes.
Councilman Morelli?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wallowit?
Yes.
Supervisor Barrett?
Yes.
Resolution number 172 of 2021, a resolution authorizing the promotion of James Altenberger to the position of head lifeguard at Country Knolls Pool for the 2021 pool season.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mrs. Wallowitz, second by Mrs. Flood. So James is one of our guards that have been around a while and provides great leadership up in Country Knolls. And, thank him for his service and congratulate him on this promotion. Any further discussion? Okay, Teresa?
Councilwoman Flood?
Yes.
Councilwoman Standard?
Yes.
Councilman Morelli?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wallowit?
Yes.
Supervisor Barrett?
Yes.
Resolution number 173 of 2021, a resolution authorizing David Chalmers to serve alcoholic beverages at a gathering to be held at Collins Park on August 28, 2021.
Second.
Moved by Mrs. Standard, second by Mrs. Flood. We have a couple of parties coming up, it looks like. This one's from Mr. Chalmers. So, yeah. Some good parties coming up.
Councilwoman Flood?
Yes.
Councilwoman Standard?
Yes.
Councilman Morelli?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wallowitz?
Yes.
Supervisor Barrett?
Yes.
Resolution number 174, 2021, a resolution authorizing Randy Pullen to serve alcoholic beverages at a gathering to be held at the Collins Park on August 7th, 2021.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Mrs. Claus, second by Ms. Wallowitz. Discussion. Okay, Teresa?
Councilwoman Flood?
Yes.
Councilwoman Standard?
Yes.
Councilman Morelli?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wallowitz?
Yes.
Supervisor Barrett?
Yes.
Resolution number 175 of 2021, a resolution authorizing Nicole Littlejohn to serve alcoholic beverages at a gathering to be held at Collins Park on July 31st, 2021.
Second.
Moved by Mrs. Standard, second by Mr. Morelli. Discussion. Okay, Teresa?
Councilwoman Flood?
Yes.
Councilwoman Standard?
Yes.
Councilman Morelli?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wallowitz?
Yes.
Supervisor Barrett?
Yes.
Resolution number 176 of 2021, a resolution hiring Marley Ogle for the 2021 Tiny Hands Preschool Summer Camp Program.
Moved by Mrs. Standard, second by Mr. Morelli. So the camps are in full bloom here, and this is our Tiny Hands. Any comment here, Myla?
We wanted to open up a couple of extra spots because there was a wait list for Tiny Hands.
Mm-hmm.
So bringing in another counselor allowed us to allow a few more 3 or 4-year-olds to enjoy their first taste of summer camp.
Yeah, we have experienced an increase in some of our camps. I know the soccer camp, the numbers are way up. There's new basketball programs this summer that have a terrific amount of participation. I know with the Learn to Swim, we had one age group in particular where we had waiting lists for both sessions. We were able to take all of those students on the waiting list and put them into different age groups, so that way nobody would be left out, which is great. So yeah, anytime we do have a wait list, I know we do everything we can to get kids off the wait list and into the program that they want to join. But we've definitely seen an increase in some of our camps this year.
I had the chance to visit the Tiny Hands last week, and they're just adorable.
Yeah.
And I think at that age, that's when you get them excited for the future camps. So I think it's really important to take as many kids as we can at the younger ages, because it gets them excited for the future, but they're really adorable. I was very impressed with the setup and what they were doing.
Future counselors too.
Yeah.
It's like the Learn to Swim students, you know, you hope they're future lifeguards. All right, any further comment?
Councilwoman Flood?
Yes.
Councilwoman Standard?
Yes.
Councilman Morelli?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wallowitz?
Yes.
Supervisor Barrett?
Yes.
Resolution number 177 of 2021, a resolution authorizing the Department of Buildings and Grounds to purchase 2 used small pickup trucks from Upstate Auto Sales.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Mrs. Flood, second by Ms. Wallowitz. We have a couple of trucks that are used on a regular basis that we certainly, once again, got our money's worth out of them. We're also awaiting delivery of a couple of trucks, new trucks. But they are delayed, like a lot of goods and services this year. Now, the last meeting, Dan, you talked about the money that you had from scrapping some of the old dumpsters down at the transfer station. Just mention that again, you know, that revenue you were able to derive.
Sure. We had quite a lot of old roll-off dumpster boxes that have been sitting on back of the transfer station for a number of years. And we're getting to a point where we kept them repaired here and there, but these got to the point where you couldn't fix them anymore. So we put them on the truck, took them to the metal scrap yard, and we got money for it by weight of steel. Made $7,000 to $8,000 on those. Auctioned off the old Mack truck, and we got $25,000 for that. Also, some of these other vehicles, when we do replace them, we declare them surplus. So they're going for $3,000 to $4,000. So all that, we did sell a couple. One of these is to replace one that we already auctioned off this spring that wouldn't pass inspection anymore because of rust. And it just builds up, so we got this little bit of money to help put back into vehicles that we need. So these are used, but they're used fleet vehicles. They come for like a National Grid or Verizon. So they're professionally maintained. They're not just, you can have a real service record with them. The oil's changed regularly. Any brake work is done. Things are kept up on them. So they're in really good shape, and use the heck out of them, honestly.
Yeah, we have another couple that'll be on the auction block as well.
Yes, we do. I think it'll be about one is on right now, and I got 2 more that will be coming up on the auction block shortly.
Yeah, so they're just very old vehicles that have seen the end of their useful life as far as our needs are concerned. So we do get some money for them.
Yes, we do.
From one person's trash is another person's treasure.
Yeah, I mean, if they're going to part them out or something, I guess what they do. We get rid of them. Usually the main reason is because they won't pass New York State inspection because there's so much rust. You can't have giant holes in the frame of your truck. That's not legal, not safe. So, but other guys, they probably take parts out of them, and that's probably the only way they're useful to them, because they can't get them inspected either. So.
No.
But they're definitely used up when we're done with them.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. All right, very good. Any questions for Dan? Okay, Teresa?
Councilwoman Flood?
Yes.
Councilwoman Stander?
Yes.
Councilman Morelli?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wallowitz?
Yes.
Supervisor Barrett?
Yes.
Resolution number 178 of 2021, a resolution authorizing the implementation and funding in the first instance, 100% of the federal aid and state Marchicelli program aid eligible costs of a transportation federal aid project and appropriating funds therefore.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Mrs. Standard, second by Ms. Wallowitz. We've been working on this project for some time. We're getting closer here, right, John?
Yes, we should be ready to award the construction contract in August. Basically, all we're doing for this resolution is there was a funding gap between the low construction bid and the budget available. New York State is offsetting the gap in the budget. They're providing the $134,798 in additional funds. So that brings the total sum from $541 to basically $675,000, but the town, before we can award the construction contract, by this resolution, we're agreeing to New York State that we'll pay 100% in the first instance and then seek reimbursement for the state. So since that funding commitment for us to pay in the first instance, the 100% has increased, even though we're getting 100% reimbursement for this, we need this resolution. And then for August, we should be able to award the construction contract and get that project going.
Yeah, we've very much been looking forward to this part. We've talked about it many times, having upgraded crosswalks in several busy areas, particularly in the Exit 9 area, is very important, and another great advancement with our trail network. So, thank you, John, for pushing this to the next step.
Supervisor Barrett?
Yes, Ms.
I'd
Waller.
like to get this comment. This intersection is very heavy pedestrian traffic and bicycle traffic. So I think this is going to be a very welcome addition. It's going to make it very clear. Traffic going in all directions. I've sometimes clenched a few times coming out of Holiday. But it's very heavily traffic, so I'm very glad this is finally happening, and I know about it. My neighbors are too. Thank you for your work.
Very good. Anyone else? Okay. Teresa?
Councilwoman Flood?
Yes.
Councilwoman Stander?
Yes.
Councilman Morelli?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wallowitz?
Yes.
Supervisor Barrett?
Yes.
Resolution number 179 of 2021, a resolution authorizing the transfer of a laborer to the Compton Park Senior Community Center.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Morelli, second by Ms. Wallowitz. Mr. Ulrich is currently employed full-time at the transfer station. And I want to thank Councilwoman Flood, Councilman Morelli, and Sue Leonard for conducting the interviews. We posted the job internally, and we did have a few applicants, and Mr. Ulrich was chosen. So he will be assuming the position at the Senior Community Center. It's a position that was open when Donovan Ryan was promoted. And we didn't fill the position because unfortunately the center was closed. Well, for all intent and purposes, it was closed. We had a little bit of outdoor programming here and there, but it just obviously wasn't what it had been, which is every day, just people in and out, and classes and activities and trips, and basically where it is now. So it's great. It's great that it's back. So we didn't fill the position right away, but we are filling it now with an internal transfer. So I think it'll be a great addition to the team there, and we'll post internally for the opening at the transfer station. Any further comment?
Yeah, I would just
Anybody from
comment.
the interview? Yes, Mr. Morelli?
Just briefly, first of all, it's important that we're filling this role because the senior center has really gotten back to being busy and at full capacity. So glad we're filling this. And then I had the opportunity, as you mentioned, Supervisor, to interview with Mr. Ulrich, and he definitely had the work ethic I think we were looking for as a board, but also, and just as important, the personality that I think will really mesh well at the senior center. So he was excited, and I'm just as excited to vote yes for him tonight.
I'll echo the same sentiments. He's very personable. He'll do great working with the seniors over there, inside and outside the building. He's very, very excited to start. So very happy disposition.
Yeah, and he's well known to us. He works seasonally for Buildings and Grounds, and he was promoted to a full-time position at the transfer station. Anything you'd like to add, Dan? Since you have worked closely with him for a few years.
I definitely Keith is a very motivated, exciting person. I think he is a good fit over there, although I'm going to miss him. So, but that's good for him and good for the center. And when it's all said and done, it'll be good for the town. So congratulations to Keith.
Yeah, definitely we'll miss him at the transfer station, but it'll be a good addition at the center, no doubt about it. All right, any further comment? All right, Teresa?
Councilwoman Flood?
Yes.
Councilwoman Sandberg?
Yes.
Councilman Morelli?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wallowitz? Yes. Supervisor Barry?
Yes. Other business to come before the board? Okay. We'll go to public privilege. If you'd like to speak on a town matter, please raise your hand. We'll ask that you come forward. State your name and address for the record, and please keep it to 5 minutes or less. Any takers this evening?
Motion to adjourn. I have.
Oh, hello, dear. How are you?
I'm good. I just want to make a comment
Please
about
come
pool.
up to the podium.
Oh, could you come up, please? How you doing tonight?
I'm fine.
That's good.
Oh, I'm way too short for this.
You can bring it
I'll
down.
speak loudly. I live up in Exeter, so I'm a frequent user of the Burning Bush Pool. And I was very happily surprised when I went this year and saw the great work that was done on the new retaining wall and the cement and the flowers. It really looks great.
Good, thank you.
And the staff there is excellent.
Mhm.
They keep the pool very clean. The children are well behaved. And there's no nonsense there. Also, I'm with the groom's tavern, and thank you for that too.
And what is your name, ma'am?
Kathy Fleming.
Thank you. Kathy.
Yeah, we had the retaining wall project, and along with that, some decorative fencing and some new planning. So Buildings and Grounds, we had a contractor come in to do the retaining wall part of it. Buildings and Grounds did some of the other work, so came out nice.
Motion to adjourn.
Yes.
Second.
Councilwoman Flood?
Yes.
Councilwoman Sandberg?
Yes.
Councilman Morelli?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wallowitz?
Yes.
Supervisor Barry?
Yes, thank you.
No.